Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 1605. Today is February the 7th, 2025, and you're watching a Bass Guy show. So hello and welcome. Welcome to Sky of the Universe. Everybody follow Sky of the Universe. He's on the live chat board, which takes about 24 hours to show up on the first available replay. So welcome, live viewers. This is a live show. And as I said, this is episode 1605 of a Bass Guy show. And you can see down there in the video panel that the music and photography and video is done by myself. I sometimes show friends like Sky of the Universe, which we might do later on. There's Lac St. Louis, and this is about a year ago today. I went over the bridge and bought some, I'm always buying wires and stuff for the show. This week for the show, I bought myself a black t-shirt and a new mouse. I've got a new mouse. So if you have a name for the new mouse, please put it on the chat board. Got a new mouse right here, and it's a graphic designer mouse, so it's like a higher end mouse because it was driving me crazy. I was not being able to operate the show. And I've been. My name's Jack. I'm a bass player. I was born in Scotland. I live here. I've had a pretty hard year. Been going through a lot of stuff, and there's been a lot of construction. There was a flood. There was loss and grieving, and trying to get back on the horse. And I started to practice a lot. And I've been doing this show for 10 years without a break, so it's hard to do anything else at all, like literally anything. And we have no store in our village anymore, so I have to, take the train. It takes about 3 hours to go get, peanut butter and bananas and come back. So I'm a bit exhausted. This week I've been working on a secret project. I'm writing a new song. I'm only on the writing stage. I spent about 10 to 15 hours a day for the last 7 days since I've done the show. It just spewed out of me, and I've been writing and writing. I wrote about 50 pages and condensed it into 30. And this week I'm going to try to do the music. And I should take a month to do the song, but I'm going to try to release it by next week on Valentine's Day. So come join us I think we're here on Valentine's Day. I don't know yet. What am I supposed to do? Give in to the pressures of society? To save and serve my synergy? I gotta serve and save my synergy to protect society. Hello to Quebec Buff. Everyone follow Quebec Buff and Sky of the Universe. They're great YouTubers. Larry, can you put us on automatic pilot? Type 1, well, you already have, so this is great. See, we're getting back into the swing of it. So again, I haven't touched a note of bass. I went from practicing 3 to 27 hours a day on bass, getting good at everything, because I never have time, right? So I made time, but now everything's gone astray again. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you Frankie MacDonald, who will be on the show in about half an hour. In about half an hour, you can call in, you can ask your questions on the chat board. And who knows, maybe we'll have Sky of the Universe call in. We had Stefan in Slovakia, who's usually working at Hotel Štačička in Slovakia. If you want to look it up, he's been on the show the longest for 10 years now. And we've been on the air for 11 years solid. Thus, hence, therefore, episode 1605. I have to stop and think about it. So before we go on to music, let me just go through some of the stills here. We have today's date, a Bass Guy show. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I always forget to talk about what you can do on this show, because I have features that we haven't got into at all. So if I just go into my internet here, if you go to bassguyshow.com or on your phone or tablet or smartphone or whatever, you scroll down, there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of hidden pages. It's a website I pay a lot of money for and do a lot of work on it, and I do all my own graphic designing and stuff like that. And it's there, Sometimes the traffic is like 3 viewers this week, and sometimes it's like 5 million this week, and it's just up and down. So you click live and you end up here. If you click tip, you can support this show. All my music, video, and art is completely free. Everything. 35 years worth of music. for free, all on my albums page. I don't know if you can see the mouse or not. Larry, can we actually fix that, please? And by the way, I'm completely tired. I've been exhausted with construction, and yeah, you can see the cursor. And I won't go into it, blah, 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 tiniest violin. If you click on this pedal, which I specifically changed on request from G from Oklahoma, a friend of the show, he asked us to put space-time continuum on one of the pillows. I could use my pillow about right now, the cool side of the pillow. If you click on here, grow the show, it says on this, there's a bunch of pedals, and if you go into space-time continuum, grow the show, you can buy a Bass Guy Show a gift. I just bought $3,000 worth of gifts myself this year because we had a flood, and I had to replace all my pedals and wires and connections and some equipment, and I lost about $3,000 in piano keyboards that I had, and I replaced everything myself, and I learned to be a luthier, and I fixed all my guitars, and my shoulder doesn't work anymore, and I'm trying to get the show back on the ground. It's hard doing it. It's hard fixing everything. I had the show for 10 years. I reset up the whole studio. I had a flood. I lost $7,000 in damage, had fucking mental breakdowns after my brother died, rebuilt the entire studio by scratch, by myself, paid for it all, with the kind donation of a few people here on the wall and on the show, and Jimmy from the Legion, thank you very much. And we got all the wires and everything back and up and running. But doing the show, doing all the performing, doing all the graphic arts, holding it together, learning all the songs. Like I said, I've been making one song this week, and it took me about 60, 70 hours, and I'm only on the writing stage so far. I haven't touched the desk. You can go to Grow the Show, and you can pick something there. This is where it gets interactive. If you go to Grow the Show, you can pick something there, and I'll open it on the next live Friday show, live for everyone to see. And I won't know who it's from or who. I never do this. I keep forgetting. I won't know who it's from or what it is until I open it live. And it'll either be anonymous, but there is an option when you get the gift. There is an option if you don't rush it and look around. Oh, my neck fucking kills. There is an option to leave a message, and you can leave any kind of message you want there, or message me wherever, on my website. I don't have any social media, by the way. Social media is the devil. Social media makes people stupid, ruins lives and careers. It's a magnifying glass for narcissism, which we'll get into more soon, especially next week for Valentine's Day. I got the fucking love song of the decade coming up next week. So there, I put the pressure on myself. So a Bass Guy or Bass Guy Show, bassguyshow.com. You can do that, but of course you don't have to. And yeah, there's my introduction to the show. My life pattern and sleep pattern and everything's all screwed up, but I'm holding it together, and I'd like to thank everybody that helps. If I haven't called out your name before, it's because I'm just so busy. I don't know if I'm coming or going, but I do appreciate it, and any help that goes into the show goes right into the show. It's nothing for me. I mean, I bought my own t-shirt. I haven't had a new t-shirt in 3 years, so it's just a black t-shirt because men wear black and they have lots of pockets to hold tools to fix everything. Wink, wink. Owen Spitfire, welcome. Welcome, Vincent and Emo. Welcome, Quebec Buff and everybody. I'm going to shut up and play some music now. I don't have anything planned, which is the opposite of what I usually do. And I usually have everything ready, but I've been busy, like stupidly busy. Amazing shop over the bridge in Ile Perrot. It's called Surplus Tech, and they have tons of everything you can imagine. You can build your own circuitry and everything. The guy has a PhD in electronics. Amazing store. And let's do some music now. So Larry, without further ado, let's just jam and see what happens. This is the place where I play. This is the part where I play music and everybody leaves. Just imagine there's a laugh track. special shout out to my two friends down the road. John Cocky, welcome, brother. Hard when you don't practice in the dark. Happy Friday night, John. Go Habs, go. back to the show. 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 So Frankie, you told me 5 minutes. I'm calling. Hello Monica. Hello Wanda. Hello Smiley. Hello Sky of the Universe. Hello M. Okay, Frankie's not answering the phone, although he just told me 5 minutes ago 5 minutes. But that's okay. It's not like I was playing a song or anything. I'm just joking. So there's the rapids of St. Anne de Bellevue. And yeah, the backwards traffic. I just saw in that video on the wall someone spray painted March 25th Climate Change March. And that's the same. That was exactly 1 year before my brother passed away, March 25th, which is coming up. It's so things are crazy right now. I'm just being honest from now on. I'm not afraid and I don't care. I'm not always angry. But it's been tough, it's been hard, it's been surreal, and I'm just trying to survive every 10 minutes, really, let alone every day. I'm trying to survive every 10 minutes. So join Bass Guy Show, follow Bass Guy, check out my website, and remember that a lie is profanity. A lie is the worst thing in the world, and art is the ability to tell the truth. The first person to tell me who quoted that wins 18 million internet points. In 18 million internet points. Put your answer up on the board. So I have Frankie calling in any moment. I did call you. Frankie, I called you. Hello, Mr. MacDonald is here. We have Frank MacDonald, who's Frankie MacDonald's father, a friend of Frankie MacDonald and Monica. And we have Wanda. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Welcome to 1605 episode of A Bass Guy Show. And later on, I'm just going to play some chilled music, then go, because I'm working on some new stuff right now. I'm working on a new song. I've written about 50 pages of music, and I've been working really hard. And rather than try to produce it over 2 or 3 months, I'm going to try to get it out for Friday, a week today. So I haven't even started yet. I might start tomorrow. And 1, 2, we used to do the visual audio test to see if it's in time. Putting some music for you here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only Frankie. Just give me 2 minutes to get you ready, because I'm all alone here in the studio. And usually, yeah, you press one wrong button and everything hits the fan. So yeah, I can't stand Skype. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, brought to you live from Sydney, Nova Scotia, the one and the only Frankie MacDonald. How you doing today, Frankie?
I'm doing great so far. It was snow Thursday night, and they got a little bit of snow in Sydney on Sunday coming up. What about the west coast of Vancouver, British Columbia? Vancouver's well overdue for a massive earthquake.
Well, that's not good news at all. I remember in high school, it was like 1991. Was that the big earthquake?
I'm doing great so far. And then hi to my dad, Frank MacDonald. And I will say hi to my dad, and I'll say hi to Monica.
Hello to Mr. MacDonald. Your dad is here. You want to say a message to him?
I will say hi to my dad, Frank MacDonald. Things are great so far.
Isn't that cool?
You too.
People can come on to our show, talk live to Frankie and his father. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah. And Monica's there too.
Smiley says my dad lives in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. And I know who your papa is. So Antigonish. What can you tell me about Antigonish, Frankie?
That means I was there at Snow Queen back when I was a kid. Snow Queen and Crackle Pizzas in the same building. I was only a kid then.
Did you go with your dad?
My grandparents.
What kind of things did you do? Did you go camping or on the beach?
I went camping with my dad in 2003.
Frankie, Sky of the Universe asks, Frankie, any news on the asteroid hitting Earth in the 2030s?
2032, it's going to bypass the Earth. It's going to trigger a lot of earthquakes.
Frank MacDonald said, there is my amazing son.
Yes. Hey, Monica's still great so far.
Yeah, hello to Monica. Shout, you had lobster with Monica.
Yes, things are great so far. Things are going really well. People, somebody in England are contacting me. People in different countries around the world.
What do they have to do, Frankie?
People in different countries are contacting me.
What kind of faraway countries are people contacting you?
England, Russia, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, even Indonesia.
Anyone from Scotland?
Yeah.
Amazing. How does it make you feel, Frankie, that people drive by and beep the horn at you?
It makes me feel great.
That's when you know you've made it, when you're walking down the street and people honk the car and screaming girls shout out the window, Frankie! It happens often on the show. So, Frankie, what is life all about?
When I was a little boy, I wanted to grow up. I wanted to be a weatherman.
And you got a weather station, right? What was your very first weather station?
It's on the wall. And things like this, the weather station. It has it measures all the rainfall and sunlight and temperature and things like this.
So you go out and check it in the morning, I guess?
Yeah.
Would you like to show us the street?
Yes, Charlotte Street in Sydney.
This is Charlotte Street in Sydney, and it was a big hole in the ground. They put a brand new road. So just like here on Base Guy Street, we have a brand new road, so does Charlotte Street. Now it is like blurry because that's the Skype kind of blurs it, but you can get the idea. And Frankie, what is your typical night on a Friday night in Sydney, Nova Scotia?
I was at Dooley's and things like this, and hanging around at Dooley's. Things are great so far.
Okay, and what kind of things do you like to drink when you're at the clubs?
I like Pepsi and things like this.
And you do dancing, right?
I dance it as well.
Amazing. You having a good time so far tonight?
Yes, I'm having a great time.
I missed you. It's good to see you, Frankie. Can you say hi to Soren Anderson?
Hi, Soren Anderson. I'm doing great so far.
And Owen Spitfire.
Hi, Owen Spitfire.
You have a lot of fans here. They come to see you and check you out, Frankie. If you have any questions for Frankie McDonald, such as what did you have for your lunch and supper tonight?
I had bologna and potatoes for supper. I had when I was working on Wednesday because of climate weather possible on Friday. And guess what? I got news for you. I had eaten San Mario's pizza for dinner back on Wednesday.
What did you have on it?
Pepperoni and cheese and bacon and sausage.
Oh, imagine a good slice of hot pizza right out the oven. That just sounds like the American-Canadian dream. How many Pepsi, Frankie? How many Pepsis do you have?
2.
That's what Monica is asking. How many Pepsis do you have? 2? Okay. With or without ice?
I like without ice.
If Monica was here, would you guys go dancing and clubbing and have a few Pepsis?
Dancing and things like this, and dancing and swimming.
I went dancing with Gujen in Sydney, Nova Scotia, right? I went dancing. Where did I go dancing again? The nightclub?
At the cave. The cave is now Pizza.
So it's no longer there. I guess we danced so well that they decided that's it. We can't anyway. Yeah, I remember dancing that night, and I had a very bad back, so I just sat down, and Gajen was dancing, and there was a man on a wheelchair, and all the ladies were dancing around the wheelchair, and just use your imagination. They were getting creative with their dances. It was quite the night. And I had like a lemon hooch kind of drink, a lemon sugary alcoholic drink. It was yummy.
This imagine somebody started to host at a nightclub. What does that mean? The guy goes there, there's a bouncer at the door.
Let me know if you could hear my voice and Frankie's voice is okay. There's a bouncer at the door. He goes, "Sir, why is there a bouncer at the door?"
The guy just started to host at a nightclub.
The father had a mental breakdown because of COVID lockdown, and he took the family credit card and went to Home Depot and spent all the family's money and bought black paint and painted the whole inside of the house black and put up a big disco ball and a big sound stereo system, and he was selling drinks, and kids were drinking cigarette butts and drinking pop bottles and chewing bubble gum and spitting on the ground. And the police come up and go, "Sir, are you the owner of this house?"
Yes.
"Do you have a license for this establishment?"
No.
"Put your hands behind your back. You're coming with me." I don't want to show off or anything, Frankie, but I bought a new black T-shirt. It's pretty comfortable.
Yeah. Then the guy wakes up the next morning and say, "Mom, what happened?"
"Son, your father had a mental breakdown. He spent all the family's money and turned our house into a nightclub. He got arrested. Son, your father and I are getting
divorced."
So the son gets to visit his father the last day of the month for 1 hour only, right? Then what happens?
Guards will say, time's up.
Time's up. But Dad. And the father writes a book in jail. And then when he gets out, the book becomes... And that was some other guy in a long... Anyways.
Just to mention, doctor picked up the guy, throw him in the garbage at the hospital.
What? The guy picked up a guy and threw... Why did he throw him in the garbage?
The doctor's just too busy at the hospital.
The police come. Sir, are you the doctor?
Yeah.
Did you throw this guy in the garbage?
Yes, I'm just too busy.
Okay, put your hands behind your back. You're coming with me. You're under arrest, doctor. What movies have you seen? Smiley's saying she bought a new movie this week. What movies have you... Frankie, you used to go to the movie theater a lot. Have you been doing that again?
I went to the... I said, last time I went to the movie set was Christmas Day.
Okay, so you don't...
Here, Bass Guy is getting rid of all the equipment for the Bass Guy show.
Pardon, Frankie?
This time last year, Bass Guy is getting rid of all the equipment for the Bass Guy show.
Yeah, we had a flood and we rebuilt the whole studio, and yeah, it's been great fun. Frankie, can you do an impression of Pizza Guy running from a dog and doing a siren at the same time as opening 2 Pepsis? There you go. Just a small request, eh, Mr. Smith Glendale? They say jump and you say how high. Frankie McDonald, I think your first time you called into our show was 2016.
That's a year before Monica met me at the Bay Farm out in 2017.
Okay, so you've been calling into our show for about 9 years now. That's a long time.
8 years ago, Monica met me in person.
That's amazing. And what clubs will you go to tomorrow night?
Yeah, we get karaoke Phil Kasuf at Dooley's tomorrow night.
Oh, I thought so. I thought...
Against Plainville Armada tomorrow. Plainville Armada is the closest Quebec major to the hockey league team north of.
I thought so, Monica. Yeah, Monica's right.
See a monkey on my left foot at all.
Monica says, is there a monkey on your left foot?
No.
I think there's a bee on your shoulder, Frankie.
I don't see any bees on both of my shoulders.
Will you be doing these comedy jokes on your world tour, Frankie?
Going to every country on the planet.
Every single country. How many countries are on the planet?
A lot.
A lot. There's probably about 400 or something. I don't know. Could someone tell us how many countries are on the wall? And who made that quote, by the way? Does anyone know who made that quote? A lie is profanity. A lie is the worst thing in the world. Art is the ability to tell the truth. Whoever can tell that quote wins 18 million internet points. So here we are live at Bass Guy Studios. This is episode 1000. We just have to keep doing shows, eh, Frankie? We can't quit, can we?
Yeah, I was on Kings of Clump podcast last night.
Can you tell us about that podcast, please?
They're based in Timmins, Ontario.
And what kind of stuff do they talk about on that show?
Well, you just saw me on Kings of Clump podcast talking about the weather for Timmins and surrounding areas. Joey, Ollie, and Brandon Helk both were on Kings of Clump podcast last night, too.
And now a word from our sponsors. Just looking at little clips here, Frankie, stuff that I forget to use. Let me see if there... How's it going? Loud and clear. Hey, everybody. Good evening. I'm looking to see if there's any questions. Is there any questions for Frankie McDonald? We have, how many Pepsis do you drink? And Frankie, if you could... Oh, so 195 countries according to Alexa. We used to have to...
Some of our countries are not allowed in.
You used to have to go get a paper route or cut lawns and then wait a month and then get your $5 and then go downtown on the bus and then go to the library and then look up in the encyclopedia how many countries in the world and then come home and then phone your grandmother across the world. And now you just go, hey, Alexa.
Yes, some of those plants are trolls.
Frankie McDonald. How do you handle trolls and haters and clowns and trolls?
Cars are revving up in different places in the States.
Yeah, in the old days, people used to be in bands and do art and go on protests, and now people have cars. Now people have stuff and things, and a lot of people are young, I guess, insecure, so they buy things and stuff because it makes them feel better about avoiding
a lot
existentialism.
There's a lot of planes flying up too.
Yeah. Frankie, what have you been doing on your show lately, on your channel?
That means I just did a weather report for different places and things like this.
What's the weather in Montreal right now?
It was snowing yesterday because you're too busy earlier in the week.
Oh yeah, it was snowing so much, and I had to go to the store. And I've been writing a new song, Frankie. I wrote 50 pages. I'm gonna try and get it finished for next week for Valentine's Day. Because the song is gonna end with my oldest. I'm a collector. I
Up in Ontario too, in different places in the States, in all countries,
collect.
even in New York.
I collect audio stuff my whole life and documenter, and my oldest possession I have in my life. I have a recording from 1975, Frankie, where I'm only 1 year old and I'm with my brothers and father and we're in Scotland. And it was recorded on Valentine's Day. So I'm going to be releasing a song with that on the end of it next week. Valentine's Day, Frankie. What kind of things will be happening in Sydney?
That means don't know yet. Did you hear about this? Then they got the Heritage Day on February 17th in Nova Scotia.
I think it would be amazing, Frankie, if you were on the Trailer Park Boys SwearNet streaming service. I think that would be amazing. It makes total 100%. They've already had you. You already know them, right?
They found me and things like this.
They found you doing the tornado siren, and Bubbles reposted it.
They got more snow in Bonaventure, Quebec, where Monica is.
Frankie, hello from Florida. Thanks for doing impressions. God made you just right. Thanks for making us all smile and doing weather. I have a great night. Thanks, Space Guy, for doing your thing. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Smith, Glendale. We have Ryan Hector saying, Frankie, have you ever took a ride on the REM? And did you visit Longueuil? No, well, Frankie doesn't live in Montreal or Quebec. Frankie, where do you live?
Sydney, Nova Scotia, Canada.
I went and drove and met Frankie myself in person. How do you get there by car from Montreal to your place?
Go down the Highway 125, on the highway route, on Route 20 to 85, all the way to New Brunswick Quarter Highway 2, and we're up Trans-Canada Highway. You follow the Trans-Canada Highway.
And then you get close to what happens when you get close to Sydney.
You went to the big theater when I was working at Bay for about that day.
I remember that, and we never missed an episode. We did all our shows live on the road using data, and it was like $20 for data each segment. Who's that?
It's the guy driving the taxi.
Hello, Mr. Taxi Driver. Should we go say hello to him or leave him alone?
Michael P. Mahone, I'm doing great so far.
And people are walking by and they're going clubbing right now. It's midnight over there, right?
It's midnight in Sydney, Nova Scotia. It's not midnight in Montreal yet.
And you were dancing tonight.
I was dancing tonight. Things are great so far.
So you're in the future, Frankie. For me right now, it's Friday, and for you, it's Saturday. Are you in the future?
Yeah, Stefan is 5 hours ahead of me.
I forgot about that we can call Stefan. So what I have to remember to do is I just need to go to here. And sorry if I missed the comments. I know I don't mean to be slow. I'm just so we'll put you on standby there, and we're going to. I don't know if Pat ever wants to call. Pat, you just call. I don't want to bother Pat. Well, Pat, you can hang up. You don't have to answer. But we're going to see if we can call Stefan in Slovakia. Is that okay with you, Frankie? We did it last week, and it went great.
Yes.
Okay, so we're calling Stefan. Hey, he's here.
Hi, guys.
Stefan, how's it going, buddy?
Very well. There is 6 hours difference, I think, or only 5.
So there's 5. Yeah, there's 5 right now, and next week it moves ahead an hour. So then you'll be 6 hours next week, but only 5 today.
Right. Because I saw that Nova Scotia is in the same area as Montreal, because there is 6 hours difference between Montreal and Slovakia.
Okay, so you guys talk to each other. Oh, before I go to that part, ladies and gentlemen, we have Frankie McDonald in Sydney, Nova Scotia. I'm in Montreal. We have Stefan live in Slovakia. And we have daylight saving times going to move forward. You're going to people will lose an hour of work, an hour of sleep before they go to work, Frankie. Will people get grumpy?
You have to go to bed 1 hour early.
Does that mean people might get grumpy?
For daylight savings time begins, you have to go to bed 1 hour early. Sets time spring ahead, lose an hour of sleep.
Okay.
I know. And we will change on March 30th. Pet told me.
Last weekend in March in Slovakia, where Stefan lives, daylight savings time begins at last weekend in March.
Yes, exactly. I think on the March 30th. Pet told me. So how are you, Frankie?
Things are going great so far here in Charlotte Street, Sydney.
Nice street. I like American and Canadian street. I have never been to American streets, but I have been to Canada. So I love Canadian streets. They are really nice, and I like when there is winter in Canada. It's pretty cool, and summer too. Summer is beautiful. I was in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, for like 8 or 9 months, from 1992 to 1993, and I attended their Confederation College for 3 months, English as a second language intensive course. It was really beautiful to go to Confederation College in Thunder Bay. I loved it. It was something new for me.
And how's the weather in Slovakia?
I think we have about -5 or -6 or 7 degrees Celsius. And I'm at Hotel Šachtička at the night shift, and we have snow at Šachtička, not in Banská Bystrica. Banská Bystrica is about 500 meters above sea level, and Šachtička is about 1,000 meters above sea level. So at Šachtička we have snow, but not in Banská Bystrica. We are without snow. And during day it is about +5 or 3 or 4 degrees Celsius. And this kind of weather should be till the end of February. That's the weather forecast. Because now there is coming cold weather from the north of Europe. Maybe even from Russia, because they call it cold from the east beast cold weather. So maybe even from Russia it's coming here, or Belarus. And what kind of weather do you have, Frankie?
It's cold weather where I'm at right now too. And did you hear about this? It's cold weather in Montreal too, and up around Toronto, even Vancouver, BC.
And what kind of temperatures do you have? -15 or so?
Yes, with the wind chill there too.
Yeah, when I was in Canada, I walked to Confederation College, and I had to wear balaclava because it was -40 degrees Celsius.
Yes, it's really cold there.
Yes, it was really cold. My kind of weather, I loved it. It was beautiful. I was 18 years old. I had no problem with that. I don't know what I would do now, but when I was 18, no problems with that. And we went ski-doing in the nature, ski-doing, and then we went to cottage on the lake in winter. We went to sauna, Finnish sauna. Guys drank beer in the sauna, and then we jumped to the frozen lake. We cut the hole in the frozen lake, and we jumped from sauna. We jumped to the lake. It was really beautiful. It was like from another dimension. For me, it was astonishing. Really cool. and then guys skated on the frozen lake. They shoveled off snow, and they played hockey on the lake. And it was first time that I saw Sony PlayStation, and my friend, I think Roger Zilkowski, I told you about, he showed me how to play NHL on PlayStation. It was pretty cool. Now I have Xboxes, 2 Xboxes. One of them is broken, but I have another one. But I don't play games on Xboxes because I use it for playing YouTube videos. It's pretty cool. But maybe I should ask my dad. I have two remote controls. We can play either NHL or FIFA, soccer games. So, and I haven't played it for a long time because I'm so busy repaying my debt to the Slovak Savings Bank that I have no time playing for fun. But I like it. I like it because I like to work. Maybe I'm even workaholic because when I come here to Šachtička, it's like I am on holidays. I'm like on holidays. I am having fun here. And I'm having fun at the coffee shop in Banská Bystrica as well. Frankie, where do you work?
Visa, since it's offending weather on Thursday night and Friday, I went to work on Wednesday. Past night, I had East Side Mario's Pizza for dinner. It was great.
Yeah, perfect. And I was in Thunder Bay. I went to Pizza Hut. It is pretty cool. It was like something unbelievable for me. And then we went bowling with my family. They invited me for bowling. I have never bowled. I've never went bowling in my life, so it was my first time. When I was in Canada, there was a lot of my first times in my life. First bowling, first skidoing.
That's amazing, Stefan. I love bowling.
Yes.
I used to go bowling often, and we would drink White Russians and go bowling.
What is White Russians?
It's I think it's a Russian drink. It's milk and vodka with ice.
Oh, yeah.
It was in the movie The Big Lebowski. Have you seen that film, The Big Lebowski, Frankie?
Maybe Frankie saw it. Probably Frankie saw, not me.
Someone stole his rug and it tied the room together. So, have you ever been bowling, Frankie?
Yes, back when I was a kid. And did you hear about this? I went bowling back when I was in high school, middle school, and elementary school. Back in the day, I remember that. That's a long time ago. That bowling alley Heather Lanes was torn down since 2010.
So I don't know if anybody knows on Skype, the pictures of Stefan and Frankie are really small. Is there a way for me to change it so they're side by side? Enter full view. I'll try together mode. That doesn't really work.
We even played beach volleyball in Thunder Bay on the sand.
Beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball we played there. It was my first time again. I usually played like the proper volleyball, not beach volleyball. So there was like a restaurant, and by the restaurant there was a beach volleyball court or the place where you could play it on the sand, and we played it there. Or we went. I went swimming in the swimming pool inside swimming pool in Thunder Bay. Or I went. We went swimming. What I wanted to say. Something. We went to sauna, of course, and we went to even another place, not Finnish sauna by the cottage, but we went to Finnish sauna in city, Thunder Bay. It was really beautiful. Again, guys and girls drank beer there, and we went to sauna. Or we went to my cousin's house, and in in the basement she had pool. You know what I mean, pool.
Yeah, I remember you told me that story a long time ago. You really enjoyed your time in Canada, didn't you, Stefan? Stefan, yeah.
Yes, a lot.
Okay, so I figured it out. So, Frankie, are you cold? Are you okay?
And that means I got winter gear on.
You got your good winter gear on, hat and coat, and you always dress well, Frankie. I have to say, you're a good listener, and you dress as well, right, Stefan?
Yes, it's very important to dress well in winter. I haven't been sick. I haven't had flu this winter, so I have to knock on the wood that I haven't had flu this winter because probably I drive a car and I dress properly.
Okay. So
And
you guys
every
talk.
time-
You
yes.
got. I was just gonna say, you guys keep talking because I'm fixing. I never have a chance to fix the screen for you guys, so I'm fixing the screen. You guys talk.
All right. I told you that I went to my cousin's basement at her house, and they had a big pool table there, and we played. It was unbelievable for me. It was something like from another dimension, because I went there in 1992, and the Velvet Revolution was 1989, so it was almost immediately after Velvet Revolution. Before that, it was like from another dimension. I didn't know all these things in my life. I had not known these things, and it was basically probably breath of freedom for me. And when I came back from Canada to Slovakia, I wanted to bring all these customs and all these behaviors and all this culture and everything to Slovakia, and people how people live there. And it was a little bit difficult to bring it from Canada to Slovakia. Some people don't like this kind of life that I admire so much. And as I said, it is like freedom for me. It's like
So, Frankie, can you tell us about the Soviet Union?
yes, Frankie, tell us about Soviet
Broke
Union.
up in 1991.
What's that, Frankie?
Soviet Union broke up in 1991.
So Stefan
Yes.
Stefan grew up. You grew up in a communistic world in Slovakia, right?
Yes, exactly. I was born in 1973, and it was pretty tough. I mean, I was quite good student at elementary school, secondary school, and then I think in the 4th grade of secondary school there was the Velvet Revolution, and I didn't even know the West existed, Western Europe or anything, different kind of lives.
So it's like we were living in different worlds. You didn't know
Yeah,
about the Price is Right or McDonald's. Did you have
I don't
McDonald's?
get it. I didn't know there was Canada because they were only teaching us about Russia. I had to study Russian language for 15 years.
In 1989, they brought down the Berlin Wall.
Yes,
Back in the 1930s, there's a different guy ruling Germany.
It's really easy to forget that we have no idea that you grew up in a world where the world was hidden from you, basically, Stefan.
yes, Western Europe. I didn't know that actually that there is the free there are free countries.
Well, just so you know that Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson are the same person, just in case they didn't tell you that.
Who?
Jeeve Stones is saying, Stefan, what is your favorite vodka?
Well, I'm abstinent.
Abstinence is your favorite vodka. Nice choice.
Yes, you know what? I didn't figure this out, but my grandpa he didn't drink his whole life, and I went to Canada and I drank. No, I had no difficulties. But then I went to Vancouver before I went to Slovakia, back to Slovakia, and two guys in a park gave me marijuana, and that was like death for me. I had really difficulties to sing properly. I was really wild.
Yeah, I remember all those stories, and that's so good that for decades you've been doing really, really well, Stefan. Like, just amazing.
Yes.
Frankie, what do you think about drugs and gangs and stuff like that?
It's really, really, really bad. Wrecking on buildings and wrecking skyscrapers and things like this.
You're not selling drugs out in the street right now, are you?
No.
Okay, just checking, bud. It's just a little professional comedy joke there, Frankie. Frankie, so you're not cold? You're good to speak? You're still having fun?
I'm still having fun. I'm not cold.
Would you like to ask Stefan a question in Slovakia?
Howard thinks of Slovakia. That means that Howard thinks of Slovakia. Do they have professional boxers there?
Yeah, professional. We have these guys. I just watched it today on Tatari News channel, and it's the same as in you have these guys who are in the ring, and what it called? I think I cannot figure it out. But when they fight against each other, but they pretend that they fight, they don't really fight.
I was watching that on the Trailer Park Boys. I'm a member of SwearNet, and I was watching Tina. Do you know Martina and Tina? And what is it? Tina and Martina? I forget their names. You know them, Monica. They're from Glace Bay. They're from Glace Bay. They
really fight. They fight to blood.
That's what I was saying. I was watching Trailer Park Boys, and there's this comedy duo from Glace Bay, Martina, and they were talking about wrestling, and they said that they wear quite tight underwear, and you can see their bulges, and it's pretty kinky. She says it's a kinky kind of thing, isn't it?
Yes, that's wrestling, but here it's
a bit
like
kinky.
It's not wrestling because they don't pretend they really fight. They fight almost to death, and it's terrible.
Yeah, and they just wear like a little Speedo, right? Like just little underwear, and they fight each other.
Yes, this is wrestling, but we don't have so much
And they hold
wrestling.
each other tightly and get close
We don't have so
for
much
long.
wrestling. These guys really fight for life,
Okay.
and it's like really nasty fighting.
Have you ever done wrestling before?
Oh no, I wouldn't. I'm pacifist. I
Okay.
don't like fighting. I don't like wars. I don't like. If I had to, I would probably defend myself. But basically, I am pacifist.
It's a complex issue, eh? Because in nature, the cat eats the mouse, right?
Yes. But
I guess
we are
there's
humans. We are human beings. We should help each other, not fight with each other. When I am now at the copy center, I can watch by the work.
Jeeve is a pacifist as well, so
Jeeve is pacifist is awesome.
yeah, he
Yes.
loves nature and music and hugging and stuff like that.
Yes. Well, I can tell you that I'm not pacifist when I'm drunk. I'm total asshole when I'm drunk. So that's why I don't drink alcohol, because then I'm rude and I tell you straight what I mean, and it can hurt you. So
in a way, like you're saying, you're a workaholic. Your salvation is your work. Work has saved you.
yes.
That's good.
Yes.
And Frankie, what kind of things have you been listening to, like music or TV or entertainment? What kind of stuff?
I was listening to music and things like this on TV, and they put their music at Dooley's and things like this, and it's royalty music. That means that's why I go outside do an interview with Big Sky Show because the copyright issues with record company.
That's so professional of you, Frankie, and I appreciate that you don't call in with music playing in the ground. Because even if you whistle a song, YouTube will sue you for $1 million. So
That's why record company owns the rights.
that's right. So Stefan and Frankie, are you having a good time so far on tonight's show?
I'm having a great time so far.
Yes, perfect. When you know what I did when I came to Toronto, because I flew from Prague to Toronto, and I went outside of the plane. My cousin Beverly waited me there on the air where the planes land, and I don't have very good vocabulary. I just and I went to the bookstore and I bought there about 10 or 15 CDs. That was first thing I did. I bought a small dictionary, Collins Cobble dictionary, small one, small edition, Canadian edition, and I bought about 10 or 15 CDs. I don't know why I did it. It was just automatic. I bought some CDs. And then I found out another thing that it was like 1993, so 1992, that you guys could buy, for example, 5 CDs, and you could have, I think it was Columbia House offer, and you could have another 5 CDs for free. So it was something unbelievable. I couldn't believe that these things could happen. It was like from another dimension. We did, yes. Yeah, it's like the sound is like you are from behind a wall or something. It's not very.
Okay, so it's probably one of my webcams is picking up the sound, because you shouldn't be able to hear me right now. That's something that we need to look into the studio here. So remind me about that later, because I press mute and you shouldn't hear me, but you're hearing me, so that's really weird.
Yes, we can hear you, yes.
So I do have 5 web cameras, so one of them must have the microphone on. Okay, guys, so we had fun tonight. You want to keep speaking, or do you want to go? It's up to you guys.
No, I have to write a report. I have half an hour for writing a report what I did this night shift, so I have to go.
So we'll talk to you next week on Valentine's Day, Stefan, if you're working.
That will be perfect. I will have another night shift.
So you say goodbye first, and then we'll speak to Frankie for a bit.
Yeah, bye guys. Bye guys.
That was Stefan live in Slovakia. And now we're going to go back to our friend, Frankie McDonald, who we just hung up on. So we're going to call him back. I was waiting for Stefan to hang up, and he didn't. I'm still learning to use Skype. It's been about 11 years now. But maybe in about...
Back to Frankie McDonald.
Back with Frankie McDonald. Sorry I hung up on you by accident. I was trying to close the call with Stefan. So Frankie, could we do a roundup of the weather before we finish everything?
It's going to bring a little bit of snow in Sydney, Nova Scotia on Sunday. It's going to be a whole lot of snow in St. John's to play Sunday night and Monday.
How much snow are we going to get?
5 to 10 centimeters or so. Vancouver's getting really cold weather. It's going to bring a lot of severe weather this spring coming up from Texas. Oklahoma, things like this. California gets earthquakes because the lines on the San Andreas fault line. Then you got multiple cyclones in the Indian Ocean right now.
And what kind of spring do you think we're going to have around the world? Springtime.
It's hard to tell. AccuWeather and the Weather Network will be issuing the spring forecast soon.
Did you have fun tonight, Frankie?
I had fun tonight.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers before you go?
Best of luck to you. I'm Frank Dowd. You're listening to the Big Sky Show.
Thank you, Frankie. We'll be back after these messages. Hey, man. Where are we? Baloney. Do I even know you? Baloney. Is this even real? Baloney. I need a meal. Where am somehow. Baloney. What am I? Baloney. Where are we? If you wanted to feel, then it's gotta be real. If you want it to move, then it's gotta groove. If you wanna get high, real life is something to try. So sing. Welcome, John. Real life. All your pains, problems, and strife. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. But who am I to judge? This reality smudge. The secret to appeal. It's gotta be real. So say it like it is. And be a conscious whiz. It's called the real deal. So let it be your next meal. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. We're all gonna die. Oh no. Where are we? What who am? Are we even here? Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. Where are we? Baloney. Reality Kushtard. Hello and welcome back to a Bass Guy Show. I'll put the video back up there. I just had a request for a song, and I haven't done it in a long time, and I've been working on other stuff. Sometimes I work on other styles of music. So that's the thing. I can't get the ratio the same for the video. Ah, man, are you joking? I can't get the ratio for the same for the YouTube video and the Skype call. And it's been driving me nuts, but that'll do for now. A Night in Tunisia. I don't know if I remember it. So yeah, Ryan, if you want me to make some music, or anybody wants anything made or done for them, which I don't really do because there's never any request in life for musicians. No one ever says, "Hey, I need a musician to do something. I need to hire a musician for work for me." No, it doesn't usually happen anymore. It's more like, let's watch Netflix. I'm too tired to fight tonight. I did all my fighting in a song this week, and that's coming out on Friday. Thank you, Frankie McDonald. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. We are going to play another song, but if you like the show, I always forget to do this bit, so I'm going to do it now. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all of those good things. I'm on live every Friday night. If I can get there earlier, I will, but the last couple months, construction and life has just been frickin' busy and unbelievable. And also, you can go to my website, which is bassguyshow.com, and if you scroll down, or even on the site, there's a bunch of guitar pedals, and you can click on live, and you can watch the next live show. You can click on tip, and imagine that. You can actually support the show that you keep watching over and over again. And albums, everything I have, all my albums, music, I have about 45 albums. They're all free. And this little pedal here says Space-Time Continuum. I wrote that in for Jeeve. And the pedal that says Space-Time Continuum, or Grow the Show, you can get a gift for the show, and it'll arrive live, and I'll open it live on Friday shows. And I won't know who it's from until I open it. And you also have the option, if you when you're on checkout and you take your time and look around, you can leave a message, and I'll read out the message live on the show. And that brings you to a wish list. And there's things like guitar strings and a little foot pedal and a thing to fix my guitar, and all the way to a aircraft carrier. So there's that there, bassguyshow.com. So I'm going to play some music now. I don't know if I remember how to do this, so let me figure it out. I'm feeling a little bit backwards today. Great Latin song, Latin jazz. Arturo Sandoval does this amazing, but this is written by Dizzy Gillespie. And I forget how to play it, so let's just do it. Hello, John. Hello, Frankie McDonald. I'd like to dedicate this song to my good friend, John. So it's been 100 years since I've done that, and I usually spend, hours and hours and hours and hours getting a show ready. But today I've just been busy doing other things and other work and duties and responsibilities, and I do have spinal damage, so it's hard to get shit done. I'm doing great so far. So there's for you, John. James. Welcome, James. Welcome, James. Stranger Things. How are you, my Tobian? everybody for watching tonight. Thank you everybody for watching tonight. It's really good to see you, Van Goat. I love you, buddy. I hope you're well. I miss you. Hello to Dub. You're the best, Van. You're one of the best people I've ever met in my life. I'm so glad you met Bass Mom and came down here as well. And Van Goat came here and he popped the mic on the microphone. You gotta be careful not to pop the mic. Hello to James Morrison, my Tobians. How old are you now, James? James used to call into the show from high school when he was like 14 years old. So you must be like 24 now, man. I bet you're rich and you're like scuba diving and on sailboats and stuff. I hope so. I haven't caught a stream since Cookie Week. Man, we have one of our oldest time viewers here ever, aside from Stefan and Van Goat. We have James Morrison here. As I said, him and his two friends used to call Scrimmy Bingus. And I forget your other names. You would actually call in from high school. Yeah, you're 24. I got it right. Wow, isn't that cool, James? I know my stuff. You know, I might not know a lot of things in life, James. I don't have my life completely. By the way, you're watching the video as me rebuilding my studio. I got flooded this year and I lost my whole studio, James. But don't worry. I'll take... Anyway. Yeah, and James used to call in from high school when he was 24. I remember once you called in from like a Christmas party and your grandmother was there and you were in the coat room and there was kids playing around and stuff like that. You guys would call in and have a bit of fun. Sloppy would talk to you and we would talk about eggs. Buy now, eggs. These are the best eggs you can definitely get ever. I actually have I'll finish the show with an ad from Scrimmy Bingus. I don't know if I have it on hand actually. But these are the best eggs that you can get. And Scrimmy Bingus is basically exactly what I was when I was your age, you know? Everyone's into football and hockey and cheerleading and football and stuff, and we were into Frank Zappa and all that kind of weird stuff.
Is out of this world. These are the best eggs you'll ever see in your life.
But I only have $3.
Not a problem. You $3 gets you on egg.com. That's with 40 eggs. How much? What's the value of 40 eggs? 40 eggs we're selling eggs for. Our ratio of 3 popcorn bags.
So sorry, the computer was going crazy there. So here's an advert by James Morrison and his friends, and they're on the wall right now. I don't have all my stuff together. And James used to call into the show like 8 years ago.
Spaghetti.
Are you tired of sesame?
Buy egg. Hi, I'm Mansterago, and I'm here to introduce to you Egg.com, your one-stop shop for egg, smeg, beg, doors. We even have goulashes. Buy egg.
Hi, I'm Schmiggle Keggle, and I can vouch for Egg.com because I bought over $7,000 worth of egg, beg, leg, schmeg, and gulag.
Buy egg. Our eggs have the highest rating on the Elementrio scale, and we have the highest content of shoelaces on the market. Our ratio of movie popcorn bags to battery acid is out of this world. These are the best eggs you'll ever see in your life.
But I only have $3.
Not a problem. You know what $3 gets you on egg.com? That's with 40 egg. How much? What's the value of 40 egg? It's 40 egg we're selling at cost. Oh!
Buy egg, buy egg.
So there you go.
I just got home.
Spaghetti.
My apartment got flooded.
Are you tired,
A
Chef?
quarter to a foot of water. I got
Hi,
shocked.
I'm Mance
I just
Durago,
spent
and I'm here to introduce to you egg.com, your one-stop shop
years spending
for eggs,
thousands of
eggs,
dollars in
eggs,
my own
doors. We
pennies.
even have goulashes.
Can't even afford food.
Hi, I'm Schmegel
Thousands
Kegel,
of
and I can
dollars.
vouch for egg.com because I bought over $7,000 worth of egg, beg, leg, schmeg, and goulash.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Our eggs
Okay, so Larry's in the studio. When Larry comes in the studio, he puts on all the buttons at the same time, and then he goes out for a walk and comes back like 3 weeks later. So that is right. James Morrison made that commercial with his friend Scrimmy Bingus, and James says, "I want you to know, bass guy, that I've never felt fear because bass guy loves you." That's what we used to always say on the show. Bass guy loves you, no fear. And I want to show you what I can do here, Scrimmy Bingus. If I go deep down, I don't know if I can do this, but and a hello to Van Goat. You probably remember Van Goat. He was always here as well. You can tip Bass Guy Show. You don't have to. I didn't mean to put it on that screen there. Visit bassguyshow.com and all your streams will come true. Let me just look into my files here privately. Got too many windows open. Everything's going crazy right now. So let me close a few things. A few million things. So if I go into my content, I forget what it is. I did have one of your videos. So I don't just take calls from anybody anymore. You need to say hello and introduce who you are. It's not the old days. Well, it might get there. But man, I forget what it was. It was Scrimmy Bingus, Max Rebo. I know Max Rebo was one of the names. And I forget what day you called in. It was Egg Week, right? Now, I can't find it, but I do have a video somewhere of... we will, since I can't find I have a few episodes with you guys on it, but I can't find them. But we'll take a look at Egg Week. This is a Bass Guy show 9 years ago. Hey man, how's it going? I'm Bass Guy. I'm a guy that plays bass online, and you're about to watch the Bass Guy show. Happy cold. It is Egg Week. Please prepare yourself. Get the egg. You're about to watch a man who plays the bass online. Oh my goodness, I'm going to stop now because I had no idea that Max Rebo is here. Sorry, my eyes are not so great. So I remember that. I can't see because the frickin' microphone stand is like right in front of my face. Hello, Waffle Boy. Very old time James Morrison. We got a lot of the old Bass Guy show people are coming back, and I appreciate that. And I thank you guys. Those kids were great. Well, those kids are now 24. Dub is now 58 years old, and he started his own lucrative real estate business. I don't know who's calling. Like, who are you? Let's just find out, basically. Hello, who is this?
This is me, Phil.
Who are you, Phil?
I'm calling from Lewiston, Maine.
You're calling from Maine. Okay, so I've seen you've messaged me a few times, but I have no idea who you are. So let us know who you are, sir.
I do a lot of Instagram and YouTube.
Could you put your video camera sideways, if that's possible?
Like this?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you very much. Now we can see you. Well,
Yeah.
welcome to the show, Phil.
Yeah, you have a cool show.
How long have you been watching for?
A couple weeks now.
And you're in Maine, sir.
Yes, I am.
And how do you do and what do you do?
I actually work for Shaw's in Lewiston.
And what kind of music do you like?
Oh, any type.
You don't have any favorite musicians or bands or like?
Well, I like almost like you do in other songs.
Cool. Well, our friend Van Goat is in North Carolina, and he says, hello, Phil.
Hello.
And we have some viewers here tonight who used to watch the show like 10 years ago tonight.
Oh yeah?
So what can I do for you? Why are you calling tonight, sir?
I just wanted to say hi to you. And your fans.
Well, thank you, Phil. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
This is a Bass Guy show. We're live online with Phil from, where did you say you're from? From Maine?
Lewiston, Maine.
Maine, cool. One of my friends who lives down the street, he's from, I think he's from Maine. He lives here in Montreal now, but he used to be a Marine in Maine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
So what's the main reason you're calling?
Oh, I gotta tell you one thing, okay? I'm a Boston fan. All Boston teams. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've never seen a sports game in my entire life.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
And I just went to a hockey game. If you look on my Instagram, I went to a hockey game tonight. It's on my Instagram.
What is your Instagram so everybody knows on the show, Phil?
Hold on. Hold on. You still there?
You don't know your Instagram handle?
No.
I love the internet, Phil. Isn't the internet amazing, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh yeah.
This is amazing.
I can't. I'm not seeing it, yo.
Is it on the internet, your Instagram?
Yeah. But I'm not.
It's like at Phil.
Oh, Phil Mason.
At Philip Mason, maybe.
Just Phil Mason.
Okay, at Phil Mason on Instagram.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any requests, Mason?
No, not really.
Well, Waffle Boy is on. I love the internet. Waffle Boy is on the internet and says this is great. He's enjoying the phone call, Phil.
Oh, cool.
So, Phil, I'm going to finish up the show now because I have a very bad back and I'm tired and cold and pouring all alone. And I'm going to finish up now. So, is there anything you'd like to say before you go tonight?
I hope everybody does good and see my Instagram, and I'm also on here on YouTube.
And what's your YouTube handle? How do they find you on YouTube, Phil?
Phil Mason.
Phil Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Mason on YouTube. Well, thanks for calling, Phil. We appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thanks for your time, Phil.
Yep, bye-bye.
Take care, man. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, as only seen on Sky Television. Ooh. And thank you for calling in. And I don't know why he keeps calling back, but this is what the old Bass Guy show used to be like. It was complete chaos, and I kind of stopped all that because I have this thing called Hey, bass guy, it's me from Future Tobian. So, wait, let me just. So this is what the old bass. James, this is all your fault. I'll say hi. I don't even know how I have my Skype set. I used to just let no one call in, and I turned the whole thing off. But so there's a new character. I might let characters. People used to call in as characters rather than themselves. And if you watch the old shows, which no one really does, we used to have like Satan Loves and Larry the Producer and Future Guy, and we had all these different characters. And when they'd call in, they had a whole story, and they'd make a character, and it was fictitious. And sometimes they would call me the day before, and I would get tons of sound effects ready. So when they called in live, they would say, "Oh, I'm calling from a spaceship," and then I'd put the spaceship sound in the background, so it sounded like it was real. And I was doing like live editing with callers calling in, so it was like everyone was participating. People were calling in, being alter egos. We'd add sound effects, and then the internet came along and social media. And now just people just post stolen quotations on stolen photographs of kittens. Facebook, where people, what is it? Facebook and social media, where people express their individualism through other people's work. Max Rebo, he remembers Satan. So everybody, go watch the old Bass Guy shows. The more you watch the old shows, they're all available. In fact, I'll show you how to do it here. Say I was to open up a brand new internet tab, and I just went to your favorite YouTube channel. I have over 3 viewers, and if you scroll down, you'll see there's a bunch of playlists, and one of them's called. So basically, you go to A Bass Guy Show. My handle is @BassGuy, and if you go to all Bass Guy Show episodes, there's 11 years of episodes there. And you can click on there, and it'll show you all the old episodes of Satan and all that, and you can find all the Scrimmy Bingus episodes. I went and cleaned them all up, put new thumbnails, tagged them, algorithm. It took a year solid, 10 hours a day for an entire year without a day off. I almost went insane. I edited all the versions of the old shows to make them shorter and watchable and stuff like that. So, for example, here's Max Rebo and Scrimmy Bingus. They found the show because of, I think, Soup Week. That was it. It was Soup Week. That's when you guys called in. So let me fix that then. So we'll go to here. And I haven't done this kind of stuff in a long time because I've been going through a lot. So, of course, I am a guy that plays guitar and bass, but I also had a show, and we had lots of different guests from all over the world, and lots of different things happened, and we had fun, and there's a huge backlog story, but no one really gives a shit about that. Everyone's just looking at new entertainment. The whole world now is just entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. Like, there's just too much stuff out there, man, and the internet's like pissing in the wind. So if you're here, you know that your destiny, your density, is to go watch all the old Bass Guy shows. But I'm not on social media anymore, so let's take a look at the Bass Guy show like 15 years ago.
We've built a giant
And this is when Scrimmy Bingus found the show because they were checking out Soup Week.
wall around the house. It's now technically a compound.
And this is the real life sock cop calling in. This is Jason Bergler.
Wall around the house? Is that ever since the new president of America, of the world, I mean?
No, he did not build this or get another country to pay for it. We had to pay for this wall. It's to keep the crazy fans and the autograph seekers and things away. It's a whole thing. I mean, yeah, if it wasn't so cold, I would take you outside right now and see. It's like World War Z on the other side of that wall. There's just so many people clamoring to get in that it's exhausting. It's a big job.
And when Sock Cop travels, do you guys stay in the same hotel room together, or do you get the same accommodation, or?
No, he doesn't. No, he won't have anything to do with me. He doesn't. No, he gets his own room.
He's in the penthouse and everything, and you're down below in the.
Well, usually the way that is, he'll find like the cheapest room, and then I have to sleep in the drawer.
Okay. And we have a good question here. John down the street is a perfect example of someone who doesn't know what Periscope is, he's just asking where can he watch this elusive sock cop?
Well, if you go into your bathroom and you place your hand on the mirror and close your eyes and say "sock cop" 3 times, he will appear.
Wow.
If he just so happens to be in your house, and then so that's one way. Another way is Periscope, an application that is online that you can watch.
60 from Russia's side. It's very complex and so we're just chatting to our friends here live on the wall. We have writer Jeff, Chicky Mickey, John down the street, Sock Cop, Sammy, and Chicky Mickey, and even Jason is here. Wow, Jason and Sock Cop is here. Absolutely awesome. So let's go to this day today. Things that happened this day today. In 1965, I was just talking to this on the telephone with my good friend Jason. A Charlie Brown Christmas premiered on television in 1965 on December 9th. The Vince Guaraldi Trio did the music for that beautiful little cartoon. Everybody knows that. I mean, that's the kind of cartoon animation you want to watch in your pajamas with a cup of hot chocolate. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Look at that. All the little characters. I'm sure we can all identify to one of those characters. Also on this day, moving on to other topics, I think we're going to politics now. Lech Walesa was elected president of Poland in 1990. I used to live in Poland for 3 or 4 years, and I heard all about Lech and Solidarity and the end of the Cold War, the beginning of the Cold War, the Reagan years and whatnot. And wow, Poland's been through so much. They've been sold and divided. At one point, they didn't even exist. At one point, they were the center of Europe. And before World War II, there was already holocausts going on from Russia's side. It's very complex and complicated. But yeah, he was elected president. It was a big, huge thing for them. And he pretty much demonstrated no fear, which is a big thing on this show. We're always talking about no fear. And if you live in a communistic place, really communistic, back in the 40s in Russia, it had a huge impact on Poland, and this man helped liberate. So it is also the birthday. It is the 100th birthday of Kirk Douglas. Can you believe that? Kirk Douglas is 100 years old today. That's pretty incredible. I think we have a photo of here with his son somewhere, if I can find it. Larry, the producer. There we go. There's Mike and Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas is in my World News. Really good show, eh? How are we doing so far, ladies and gentlemen? You're watching the Bass Guy Show, the great prophet and in training, Dr. Nair Mumstead. I was with him today. We were rehearsing in the studio. We had a jazz rehearsal, and we're deciding to get the jazz band back together. The Jazz Collective Trio will be playing at your local restaurant in Montreal any month now. Quite possibly in a venue like this. Hey James, you win 100 billion. Yes, Jason. Apparently,
oh my God!
Play a song.
I can't
Not
believe
only
this.
that, look at this, James. Look at your screen in 7 seconds, so you should see it. Max Rebo, Scrimmy Bingus, and Omni Mr. Krabs. Is that right?
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, hello. Hi.
Just give me 2 seconds here. I need to turn off the YouTube that I'm playing somewhere. I think it stopped by
Still there,
itself.
James?
Yeah, I'm here. Oh boy, it's shrimp.
Can you hear that?
Isn't that awesome? I bet you didn't expect that, eh?
That is awesome.
I was just about to put on a video of you guys from 10 years ago.
Oh man, there's so many crazy memories.
So which one are you? You're James. Were you Scrimmy Bingus or Max Rebo?
I think I was just James Morrison the whole time we were tuning into the streams. Max Rebo's, that's my friend Nick, and then Scrimmy Bingus is Nick's cousin.
This is incredible. I remember your voice, James. I remember you were James, and Scrimmy and Max Rebo would call in, and you guys would call in from high school like 10 years ago, and now you're calling in, and it's like the year 3052.
Right. No, it's a cool thing. It's funny you mentioned you remember my voice. If you look at old videos, because my buddy Max Rebo, Nick, he keeps everything. He has an archive of a bunch of videos from old times, and everybody says I sound exactly the same as I did in middle school.
Well, this is crazy that you called now, and it's so good to hear from you, James. Let's just listen for 2 seconds. Unless I just deleted it, I just at random found, now it won't open for some reason. There we go. Here's a clip of you guys.
Awesome, dude. You're a true Tobian.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I care about you guys. Can you hear that, James, on your side?
I have the stream up on my other monitor.
It'll be late, but here's you talking 10 years ago. See by the way that you were writing, and this is the first time you called in on the board.
That's
you guys
crazy.
were like way more. Your advanced jokes were way more.
We've never forgotten that. That was a very important time in our lives. A lot of our humor and a lot of our memories formed at that time. That was like we kind of like solidified our personalities right when we discovered your streams.
And you remember a Bass Guy show after all this time?
Something I've always remembered throughout my entire life was Scrimmy Bingus was in there and Max was in there and they were talking with you. And I think it was Scrimmy Bingus requested a song and he wanted you to play Hotel California. And you told him, I'm sorry, I don't know that song. I haven't practiced that song. And they tuned in like pretty much the very next day. And you did like a perfect rendition of Hotel California, which was that was a really cool thing to see. I mean, anything with interaction during a stream is really cool, but that was a really fun thing for all of us because it was.
Well, thank you, James. My father and my family used to play Hotel California all the time around the table with guitars. I've actually got the family table right here in the studio. It was delivered from Scotland. It flew all the way over here, and now it's in my studio. And I just can't get over it, James. Like when I'm 50 now, so I was about 39, 40 when you called in, and you were literally like a kid in high school. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, we were like 15, 16 at the time, but.
I used to say you were the kids from Stranger Things because it had just come out, right?
Yeah, no, we were talking about that. Speaking of the things from Stranger Things, in my desk down here, I have all this like paper stuff for tabletop RPGs. So I really did become one of the Stranger Things kids. That's my main hobby now. Is I do all like D&D stuff.
Did you say D&D? Yeah.
Yeah, I have all these.
Because we actually grew up, like I grew up at the same, during the 80s, like that's when I was like 10 years old and all that, and we used to play Dungeons and Dragons and ColecoVision and all the things they show in Stranger Things. So you have an attraction to all that kind of stuff, I guess, right? The 80s?
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm really into this new wave of tabletop games. It's all about the old school D&D feel. It's the old school renaissance and the new school rebirth and all that of the kind of like modern D&D is way different, but people kind of miss that old feeling of D&D in the 90s and everything and like the Stranger Things stuff. It's like it was a completely different game and a completely different feel. People are bringing it back.
Well, things were tangible. I remember, like my brother bought the Dungeons and Dragons book, and he had to like go to like 50 miles to the city and go buy it, and the book was like $100 for one book. You know, It was crazy.
The books are still expensive, but yeah, no, tangible. It's in like a world where like everything's over the internet. There's something so cool about having tangible media, tangible books, doing it in person. I mean, a lot of people in this side of that hobby, we all collect cassette tapes now. Believe it or not, I have a cassette collection going, and I use it like when I play in person. I've got a little boombox, and I put my cassettes in.
Awesome. I've got cassette, CD. I still have you probably remember from my Periscopes, I have a 1980s television in my kitchen. A little TV hooked up, and I collect DVD. I collect VHS because of Sock Cop. I was going to say, so you're essentially your hobby or whatever you do. You're a graphic artist then.
No, I wish I could draw pretty good. I mean, I do some map making, but it's mostly writing, really.
And you remember we had a graphic artist on our show who made the logo of a Bass Guy
Yeah.
show. You remember Sloppy Unfocused?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Maybe I don't know if she's out there. She hasn't watched the show in years, but give a shout out to, because she loved you guys. She always said, where's Scrimmy Bingus and Max Rebo?
The closest thing to graphic design I've done is I figured out like editing PDFs. I've started. This here is pretty cool. It's a zine I made myself out of a bunch of PDFs. There's a bunch of resources for one of the games I played, and I don't know if you ever did anything
cool.
with zines in the past.
Please
but I
hold it
actually have
up
a
to the
zine
hold it
I
up to
made
the
myself and printed.
hold it up to the screen and keep it still for a little bit longer than you think, so we can see it. If you can hold it up to the screen, James, so we can see it, and hold it nice and still.
It's an adventure for a game called Morkborg. It's all like in order. You make a packet out of it, but I wanted the cool booklet, so I figured out how to kind of format it and put it together so it would work as one of those old school style zines where you cut the edges off and you line them up and you staple through the middle.
Oh, that is so cool. So it's literally interactive then.
Yeah, you've got like your map and everything, but
Is that available on the internet anywhere, or?
yeah, you can get this off of if you just go to Morkborg. I think it's morkborg.com. They have it available. This is just one of their free resources. It's a very open and free system. This is just something they publish on their website to use with their game. It's a very cool thing, but I have stuff like that. You've got the Goblin Grinder, old classic adventure. You fight a bunch of goblins in a peasant village and all that.
So you like to create your own little world, and you like fantasy and to escape from all. So you're not into hockey and McDonald's and whatever. Oh, who knows? But
Or I can't say I'm not into McDonald's. I like their food, but yeah, I would say fantasy is very appealing to me. I like the idea of people being able to go out and with a battle axe and a shield and make their fortune stealing.
are you into gladiator sports, James? That's a joke from the movie Airplane. I don't know if you know that film.
I watched Airplane. It's been a very long time. Pretty much the only thing I remember from that movie is the scene where they're all like slapping that woman.
Yeah, that's funny. The big lineup, and they've got guitars and bats and stuff. They're trying to knock sense. And a different time, eh? The 70s. I was watching some 70s TV. I was actually watching the Dave Letterman show, his morning breakfast show before he had his own night show. And the world was so different back then, man. It was just like men were cowboys and women baked cakes, and it was like it was kind of embarrassing almost, but it was a different world.
Things I find, like, as I've become, an adult, which is a weird thing to say to somebody I interacted with when I was a kid. It's kind of one of those things where you feel like people you knew as a kid will always see you as a kid, but as you become an adult, I kind of feel like things I found embarrassing are kind of the things I cherish the most, or like, the things that make you you, right?
Exactly. One of my sayings on the show was always, no one ever says, do you remember the time we did nothing?
It's true.
Do you remember the time everything was normal? You remember when the shit hits the fan, basically.
Oh yeah, all my memories of childhood are like falling into like a frozen lake, or like the time we did something stupid. Or
so some of the comments here are pretty funny. Van says that Bass Guy is raising children on the internet. You're like my internet child, James.
That's true. Yeah. You could say that.
I hope I wasn't a bad father. I'm sorry I wasn't there for 9 years,
I think I can say with absolute certainty that you were a positive influence in my life.
Oh, thank you, and I appreciate that, because I remember you guys would call in and you said, Bass Guy, you shouldn't swear. Bass Guy, you shouldn't drink. Bass Guy, you shouldn't, you guys were like my father, basically.
I don't know. It was a really cool show for us to find somebody doing weird stuff. Like, we make up like, weird nonsense words. We have like Tobian and everything. And I think it resonated with us because we found a show with a guy on there. You had Shaka, you had all like the weird advertisements. And the idea that like you could be an adult, but you could be weird, you could be yourself. You didn't have to worry about like, oh man, I can't be zany or wacky because people will judge me. But you know, there's this whole community where it's like kind of celebrating that, or it's like.
Well, thank you,
You're
James.
okay with
That
it.
means a lot. You're like the first person to like literally like point it out because, you know, if that's what I was saying. If it's not hockey, that's what I was saying. Hockey, football, McDonald's, go to school, Netflix, watch TV, get a job, have a housewife, car, and children, and it's just always the same. Like you need to live life and you need to express yourself and have fun and go for it and do things. Not everybody, but you need to like. So I'm just being myself and like I grew up with Frank Zappa and jazz fusion and like when I walk out. When I always say that to my friends, James, when I walk out the house, I feel like I'm on the planet Mars. Because when I'm in here, we're doing all this crazy. For me, it's not weird. It's just for me, it's just like let's have fun.
Yeah.
And then you walk outside, and there's like there's a truck and there's a guy and then vroom and it's just I feel like I'm on a different planet because everyone's being normal and I find it disturbing.
I feel like you'd be so much more happy when you don't worry about what's normal, right?
And of course, we all need each other.
Mhm.
But if it was just weird people or just normal people, it would be a little bit crappy. So we do need each other.
Yeah, I will say it's a cool thing with my big hobby right now with all my RPG stuff and my fantasy stuff. You have like your mainstream D&D, but I know this show's all about music, and you like to ask people about their music tastes and. All of the stuff I play, I mean, I used to play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and that's kind of the mainstream, but I gravitated more towards, the Morkborg stuff. Like Morkborg right there, it's the branding. Morkborg is very heavily influenced by music, and all of the shoot-offs from that are very music influenced games. Morkborg is very much trying to recreate the feeling of a music genre. They're very black metal, very like stoner metal, doom metal kind of game.
Wow, that is cool. I'm gonna definitely check out Morkborg.
That's awesome. It's a little bit irreverent. It's a little bit hyper violent just because its roots are in that kind of like black metal kind of like doom. Metal
well,
scene.
hey, I went to the movie theater I went 5 days a week when I was a kid, and I remember seeing the movie Heavy Metal when I was like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know the movie Heavy Metal, the animation?
I've seen I know the artwork from it. I've never gotten around to watching it, but I definitely know what you're talking about.
And it's like you're saying, it's got violence and adult content and stuff in it, but it's just that's what's wrong with that,
Yeah,
Hey.
it's very much a thing of like violence and brutality taken to the point where it becomes funny. It's like absurdist levels of like grimness, where it's like we can kind of feel better about our lives because we can imagine like a world where like everything is so much worse. But
well said. So James, wait 1 second. I want you to use your headphones and listen. You might not hear, but try and listen very closely. We're gonna play a clip of your first call to the show ever.
Sure.
Your in-jokes were made. Wait, I can't even speak, and I have a show, James. What should I do? How should I make my show better?
Not sure.
So, anyways, I'm just talking crap. So it's Christmas is coming up. What are you and your friends gonna do? Are you and your friends like that Netflix show Stranger Things?
We're like Stranger Things if like. Stranger Things took place in like I don't know. Kind of, not really though. There's no like mystical stuff going on. We mostly just kind of laugh at distorted images of dogs all day.
You guys seemed interesting to me when you called on the show. I watched the replay, and you guys were like scrimmy scrim scrams, and I like your oink shoinks, and can you play the dogfish? You guys like to be surreal, don't you?
Oh, that's one of our main goals.
Wow, well, you've come to the right place.
So
I don't know if you could hear that, James.
I can, yeah. It's such an awkward high school. I should have said if Stranger Things took place in a swamp.
Your voice is like a tenor down. Like instead of like bassoon, you're more like tenor saxophone.
That's very generous. I don't know if my voice is very musical at all.
That's cool. So life is doing well. How's Scrimmy Bingus and Max Rebo doing?
I think Scrimmy Bingus is doing great. I mean, last I heard he's going to college. I mean, I was a horrible influence on that kid. I got to him in his formative years and made him weird. But he's going to college now. Max is doing great. Max Rebo, my friend Nick. Oh, he's doing great right now. He's a genius. I would say he's a guy that I've known forever, and he always knows how to make money no matter what happens. I mean,
Well, you should tell him to watch a Bass Guy show then again.
he's here.
If he's
here
got
with
money.
me.
Oh, he's here and he has money. This is amazing.
That's all you can hope for, right? You make it to the next year and you have a bunch of money.
I've been trying for 10 years to get his money and I just can't seem to do it. No, I'm glad that you guys are doing well. And you know, like it's like you like drive a car and stuff, or like you're an adult.
Actually, believe it or not, I drive a car for a living. I work for FedEx. That's my whole job.
Oh
all I do.
wow. Well, congratulations. I can't believe like you were watching the show from high school and now you drive the van.
I do. I drive a very nice van, and I listen to audiobooks and music.
So Van Goat says that James is an old soul, finally someone that gets it. Yeah, like like people like you and like Max Rebo were like Dungeons and Dragons and acting weird and doing funny commercials, and that's what attracted you to the Bass Guy show, where we just do funny weird shit. And you know, I've always said that when people say the name weird, like you're weird, I think weird is what people who say the people who say the word weird are like just sometimes boring. Like it's just like saying like you're like, oh, you're weird. It just means like I don't know how to use my mind. That's what I hear.
We see like 1,000 normal things every day. The only thing we remember is the interesting stuff. I mean, no one ever got like famous or notoriety from just being an average Joe. It's fine, right, to be average. We need average people, and I do a lot of average things. I do a lot of normal things, but the things that fulfill you are the quirks that you have, right?
And say you go camping and you wake up in the morning and the sun rises and there's clouds and birds and big mountains and life is just, and the universe is up there. Isn't that weird?
I think so. I mean, definitely anything, a little bit further away from you than you are, it can be weird. You can drive down the street for long enough.
What I was trying to say is when people say not you, I just, because you're weird. When people and I mean that as a compliment. When people say you're weird, I just hear I have lack of imagination, like from the person saying you're weird.
Yeah.
Not to attack people, but basically everyone sucks except me, James.
No, but that's
I don't have my laugh track
I mean,
anymore.
if
so
you look at it, 90% of people don't get it. They're terrible. The people who watch the Bass Guy show, they're cool. I mean, I think everybody else basically, should they're just not as good, right?
And hey, every time you watch Star Wars or animation or cartoons, or you play Trivial Pursuit, or you anything you do that's fun for entertainment, it was all made by weird people.
It's true,
like,
actually.
Like Weird Al.
Everyone's favorite guy out there.
I know
Everyone
what
has
you're
their
saying,
favorite
James.
guy.
When I was about 7 or 8 years old when the Pee Wee Herman show came out, and when the Pee Wee Herman show came out, we all freaked out and we thought, finally, something normal.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I would say you're totally right. I mean, everyone has their favorite guy, but nobody's favorite guy is like a dude who has a mortgage and works for an investment firm. No, that's no one's favorite guy. Everyone's favorite guy is the weird guy that made the thing that appeals to you, like the one guy who had the changes in their brain, or like the things in their brain that makes them just similar enough to you that it resonates with you. That's going to be your favorite guy. It's not going to be.
Thank you, Van. And back to the beginning of our conversation, James, is that no one remembers the time that nothing happened. You only remember something when it sticks out, and it's part of celebrating life and being alive and just like expressing yourself. And we can live in a world where everyone's kind of like conditioned or like becoming like a sheep or docile, complacent. Everybody just happens to be on Facebook. Everybody just happens to have their favorite hockey team. Everybody just happens to go to work at 9 in the morning. Everybody just happens. And then everything just becomes the same. And then if you do something different, they call you an artist or a weirdo. It's kind of stupid because everybody uses entertainment and weirdos make entertainment.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, we live in a world where free entertainment is more attainable than ever. Like, the flow of ideas is more free than ever. Like, you can find cool, new, weird things, but at the same time, there's so much out there, and it's so homogenized.
But it's good and bad, James, because that's one of the main themes of my show is I always make fun of things that piss me off. Like I turn it into comedy. That's what the commercials that I made were. They were kind of comedy, but like if everything is free is one of the things that gets me because everything is free. So if you're a graphic artist or you're a musician or you're a photographer, but everything's free now and there's 8 billion photographers, there's 8 billion musicians and everything's free, what happens to the people that just spent 50 years learning how to play the piano? They're out of a job because it's all free.
It's that double-edged sword, right? Because we live in an era where anybody can be a creator, anybody can put out their art and find some sort of audience, or everyone can at least get their stuff out there. You know, you don't have to get a publisher anymore. You don't have to, play in public to like 15 people on the street. You can find a broader audience for like your art or your creativity or whatever you want. But at the same time now it's so saturated that it makes it almost harder to make it.
Well, James, I've been playing bass guitar for 43 years, and I've been online live for 11 years solid, and I have 7 people watching. So
probably better than the faceless masters, right? You can have
maybe I just need to wear if I just wear yoga pants, maybe the views will go up. Maybe.
That's true. Yeah.
So Van Gogh's loving this. He said he may shed a tear. He's enjoying this kind of reunion here.
That's cool. That is cool.
And the whole time you called in, James, you called in for many years. I never seen you before. This is your first face-to-face conversation.
It's true. I mean, I bought a webcam 4 months ago, so I never had the opportunity.
Well, welcome to the future, James.
It's true. I feel like I'm living in a spaceship. Do you have that feeling whenever I buy a new phone, because I'm cheap and I don't like upgrading things unnecessarily, so I have a phone for 7 years until it breaks. Every time I get a new phone, I feel like I'm operating a spaceship. I feel like I'm like in a sci-fi world.
No, I'm the same. I have a G3 Galaxy. I've had this phone now for like I think 6 or 7 years, and I drop it and whatever, and I've had this is like an outdated phone, and I'm more and more away from the technology. I'm getting more analog, even though I do my show. I left all social media about 4 years ago. I'm only here on YouTube basically, and I feel better as a human being. So.
Oh, for sure.
Healthier. I mean, I feel healthier. Social media kind of. Anyway, pay for your free entertainment, says Van Gogh. So Van Gogh says you're basically my internet kid. So I'm raising you. I hope you're doing well, son, and I hope things go well. And careful how you drive out there, okay, son?
As long as I can make you proud, base guy.
That's amazing. I'm
good enough.
I'm so glad you called in, man. It's really, really awesome, James. And tell Max Rebo and Scrimmy to check us out, to look us up.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So actually, just send them this show. And on YouTube now, you can say, when you share, you can say share from here. And you can find the part where you're in it and send it to them, and it'll start where you're in it.
We're definitely going to send Scrimmy Bingus here. I know Max Rebo is still watching this and loving it a lot.
I always think no one's watching, but then when I do my show, and sometimes I have freakouts and sometimes I'm normal, and then people say, oh, I watched your show, and then I watched your show, and there's people from 11 years ago still watching. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a matter of perspective. Internet is like a huge scale. You kind of lose the idea of only 40,000 people, only like 100 people showed up. But I mean, if you were gonna do this show just at your house, I mean, imagine like somebody comes to your house every week for 11 years, or consistently for 11 years, or whatever. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, you see people, it's like, oh, I only get 100 views. It's like, if you went to a bar and 100 people showed up just for you, that place would be packed, right?
Oh, good point, man. Good point. And yeah, still here, still doing it. I don't know why. Maybe I'm insane and crazy, but we're on episode 1,605 tonight, James.
Yeah. I mean, that takes dedication. Also, one thing I wanted to bring up is your setup looks so cool now. I remember watching, and you always had the soundboard. You always had your monitors and your microphone and your guitars, but just looking at where you're at now, I mean, when we tuned in, we were like surprised. We're like, wow, what a cool setup.
Well, this is the show 10 years ago. Let's just have a quick listen. And I guess it's tough at
now, but I can kind of keep it under wraps in school. Just can interact.
Maybe
normally.
now, James, you can start your own cult. Like I started my own cult a couple of years ago. It's been working out for me really well.
Oh, that sounds good. I might try that out. I tried that like in elementary school one time.
Wow. So we're talking about starting our own cults 10 years ago. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. But yeah, like looking at that, like when we first got in, I mean, you had cool stuff. I mean, you had your soundboard, your keyboard, and your computer. But I mean, you're like in like a whole studio. I mean, that's really cool stuff you've got going on.
Well, thanks,
there.
James. I literally, like, people think I'm just joking, but I literally started it with a computer I found in the garbage. I crash landed here. I used to live in Scotland. I came here. I had no money. I found a little apartment, and I found a computer in the garbage, got the internet, and literally started the show like that. And I've been streaming live like this with all the different angles and stuff since 2013, but I think I'm shadow banned or something on YouTube because I don't get the subscriptions or views or whatever like I could have over the last decade. But I keep doing it because I don't give a shit about numbers, views, or what people think. I just do it because I want to do it. But yeah, thanks for noticing that I've been doing this for 11 years now. So it's a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope you're doing all right. You definitely deserve whatever recognition you get, and I mean, it's a cool show. There's not many out there like that where you can just call in and talk to a guy, hear him play music. I mean, it was really cool for us to find back in the day. It resonated with us because it's like, oh, here's a guy who's down for whatever. I mean, we come in, we say Tobian, and he's like, oh, Tobian. What does that mean? And he does song requests. It's just a very cool thing. And, maybe if you talked more about crypto, you'd get into the algorithm more. You talk about some crypto coins.
Yeah, yoga pants and crypto. That will get the views up, right?
You need to start selling base guy NFTs of like that one. One thing I remember from the old shows, that one picture of you that would come up sometimes from when you I don't know if you visited or if you lived in the Middle East back when you had like a really big can. I think I vaguely remember like a photo of you with like a banana spider or something, but
I was in India. I spent some time. I went to
right.
India twice. Yeah. Thanks that you get it, James, because I came back and I've been home for just 15 years. Next month, actually this month, I've been back for 15 years, and people I've known my entire life have never asked me a single question about anything ever. And then you call in and you're like, "Oh, you did this and you do that, and thank you for and with the music and the thingy with the banana and the fun." And I'm glad you see what I do. It really means a lot to me. You made my year, dude.
That's good. I mean, it's definitely interesting. You don't meet too many people who travel too much. I mean, especially where I live. I mean, I live in a backwater swamp. Most of the people I know were born in a swamp, have lived in a swamp forever. You could say we're a bunch of ogres languishing in our filth out here, but
born in a swamp down by the river.
Exactly. So yeah, born in the swamp down by the Neuse River. It's great. I love it here, but I don't meet too many people who who have lived in India, who have seen that kind of cool stuff, or have that experience, right? I'm sure, like, it gives you
I appreciate
perspective
that.
on the world, right? Just having been, lived among another people, or like,
If anybody wants to see what James is talking about, you just go to bassguyshow.com, and once you're there on the guitar pedals, you can click on which one is it? It's called photography. It's somewhere. Secret photography. Did I change the name of it? I think you can click on that's okay. So I've got a new photography and an old photography page. I'm trying to find it here, and if you go to my dang it, 1 second here. Oh, there you go. So there's a thing called Jack's Photography, the last pedal, and if you click on there, you can see all my photos. I put up a whole bunch of ones when I was in California because of the fires over there right now.
Oh yeah.
And then if you go down lower, you can see photos of India, that when I was at the Taj Mahal, and I was a musician traveling a lot, so I got into photography when I was a kid. I actually started when I was like 10, and I taught myself 35 millimeter and SLR photography, and took pictures from around the world. So I'm amazed, James, that you enjoy all this stuff and you see what I do, and I appreciate it, man, because you'd be surprised how many people don't give a shit. So
Yeah, I mean, what was the Taj Mahal like? What did you think of that did you remember that vividly or no?
I do. I remember like this also a smell, because when you go into holy places, you're not allowed to wear shoes.
Really?
So you have to take off your sandals, and I remember the ground being really hot, and then when you go into the tomb where his wife is buried, and there's like 3,000 people in there, and everyone has their shoes off, so you just smell feet. I remember that. But it was a hot, beautiful, sunny day. It was absolutely beyond gorgeous day, and it was just, it's so big. It's one of the biggest buildings I've ever seen in my life, like solid granite. It's no wonder it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's massive. It's huge. It's beautiful.
Cool. That's really
beautiful
cool.
place. India is insane crazy. It's like boot camp for life. I was in my early 30s actually when I went, and it's so insane. Like the first few days, I thought I might die here. I'm going to get hit by a car or get sick. Or like there's literally like 8,000 people around you at all times screaming. It's insanity.
When you lived there, did you make do with just like with the English that you spoke, or did you actually have to learn like Hindi or whatever local dialect you had?
Well, I didn't live there. I just visited.
Okay.
I was there for 2 months and then went back years later for about a month. So I was only there 3 months in total. But I was like, it felt like forever, because I was the first time we were walking around everywhere and taking the trains where there's thousands of people on the trains. And no, people use English as a second language over there to get by.
Okay.
It was fine. No, you just everything. And the amazing with India is like literally every single person you meet will say to you, I'll get you a hotel room. I'll get you some food. I'll get you something to buy. I'll get you some presents. Like every person can get you anything you want.
That's really cool.
And they're all trying to get your money basically. So when I got there, I literally had like 50 people around me at all times. It was like, and it's scary and weird. And eventually I had to learn to be an asshole and just say like, fuck off, leave me alone. And then once I grew a thick skin, people could tell, like, don't fuck with me, and then they'd leave me alone. But at first, they not only just around you, but there was 20 people there, and 10 people there, and 15 people across the street, and, like, the whole community was like, that guy over there has the money, let's go get him.
That's cool. I mean...
But no violence. That was the beautiful thing. They were trying to earn their used car salesmanness out of you.
They're trying to Daffy Duck you out of a few bucks, huh?
Exactly, to the point where you're going to have a mental breakdown several times an hour. So,
yeah, that's a cool. I mean, I'm sure that's a great life skill. I wish I could be more abrasive when it calls for it.
Well, James, my energy level's down because I've been having a hard time lately, and my back is sore. But I love that you called in, and call in any time, and I appreciate your call today. It's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been a very positive experience. I think trip down memory lane. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to hear and be able to talk. I and be articulate and not be kind of an awkward high schooler and not know what to say, but to be like a full person and be able to talk to you about things that we care about, or to hear things that
the first thing
you.
I've noticed, James, is like what you're talking about is when you guys called in, you were so hyper and so had so much energy to like get your point across of all your ideas and your funny things that you had to say. Like you're basically like, hey everybody, this is what we're gonna talk about right now, and your energy was there, you know.
I mean, everything back then in high school, everything was about epic goofs. Everything was about whatever kind of joke we could hit. Everything was about it's not worth it unless it's funny, and it was how many jokes per minute we could get out. But
and I do remember like you're saying, hey bass guy, like you shouldn't swear and don't do drugs, and I appreciate that.
I stand by the second thing. Don't do drugs. I mean, you can fucking swear if you want, but you should.
And I don't want to be a bad influence on you, so don't swear, James. Van Gogh is saying, will you call back in 10 years?
If you're still on the air, if you're still playing music for the people, if you're still right here with an even more impressive setup and an even cooler show, then in 10 years I'll call back. But
I'll be if I'm lucky enough, knock on wood, I'll be 60. I just turned 50, James.
When you get up there, you've got to grow one of those awesome beards. You've got to be one of those like really cool like older guys who you wouldn't expect it, but they've got like the cool like long like white beard, and just you got to someday pull out the bass and just blow everyone's mind. They're like, oh my god, that guy can play.
The David Letterman beard when you retire.
Sure, yeah.
And it really is weird because I still can't get over that I'm 50. I still think of myself as 17-year-old in high school skateboarding. I still have the same mindset. So you're as old as the woman you feel, they say.
Yeah, sure.
You're as old as the woman you feel. So
I mean,
I'm gonna give you a minute to.
13, I still feel like a child. I mean, I'm gonna have a mortgage soon, and I still feel like I still have nightmares about not making it to math class and stuff. So it's like, growing up.
Well, you're doing great, James. And we're gonna go. We have to go now. But before we go, sure. I just want to give you like a minute or two, any amount of time you want. Just say what you want to say. Just be honest and open, and then sign out and say goodbye. And then we're gonna go to we're gonna take a look at the show when you were on it 10 years ago. So go for it.
Sure. I mean, if I've got something to talk about for a few minutes, I could talk for a million years about anything, but I guess I should probably try to say something inspiring. So basically, drink water, hydrate. That's one of the most important things I found in my life. I wake up, I can't eat because I feel sick, because you're dehydrated. I wake up in the middle of the night, my legs hurt. It's because I'm dehydrated. A lot of things in your life can be solved by hydration, so just try to get enough water, y'all. You drink alcohol, drink some water. In the middle, you won't get as badly hungover. It'll heal you. I mean, you got acne, drink some water, it'll clear your skin up. I mean, water is so incredibly important. And I know a lot of people don't like to drink water because it doesn't taste very good. It's not soda, it's not orange juice, it's not the thing you really like to drink, but it helps you a lot. It's like medicine, right? To a certain extent, it's not going to cure a cold, it's not going to cure an illness, but it certainly will keep your legs from hurting in the middle of the night, and it'll certainly help you eat breakfast and not feel sick. Something I have a unique perspective on. I've worked outside most of my life in hot conditions, and I've never have I been more miserable than driving around in the summer heat with FedEx, or working in a scrapyard in the summer heat, all covered in machine oil from cutting apart AC units, and I'm just so dehydrated. You get headaches. It messes with your digestion. So I guess that's the most important message I can give off the top of my head is just make sure you get enough water. Take care of yourself, guys. And
that's amazing, James. I asked you to just like talk about life and the universe, and you're just like, this is a public announcement message to drink water, ladies and gentlemen. That's amazing. Like, and you couldn't be more right and to the point. Like, just drink water, everybody.
It's a basic necessity, and when your basic needs aren't met, I mean, it really sucks. I mean, that's a very human thing. Imagine if you didn't
I
eat all
personally
day, you
do,
would feel
James.
horrible.
I drink pints of water. What I do is my technique is I have a kettle, and I always fill my kettle up. I boil the water, and then I let it naturally cool down, and then I drink the whole thing of boiled water, and then I boil another pot of water.
No, and that's the thing to think. In Europe, they know this, but in America, we're so ice-brained, we're so ice-pilled.
Yeah,
that we don't really think-
fill up your kettle with water instead of buying water and plastic and ruining the world. Just get tap water, fill up your whole kettle, boil the whole sucker, and then just come back in an hour and drink the whole frickin' kettle.
Heat's an amazing thing. It gets rid of chlorine in the water. I mean, if you live in a place with treated water, you've got chlorinated water, you've got fluoride in your water. Those chemicals, those volatile chemicals come out with heat. But yeah, I mean, room temperature water is better for your organs, people. If you drink cold water, it shocks your organs. Your stomach is meant for warm and room temperature meals. We used to eat raw corn and raw meat, and that wasn't hot, that wasn't cold, it was room temperature. You put something really cold in your body, it can hurt you. You absorb more water when it's warm. You get more hydrated with room temperature water. It's better for you, but cold water is good too.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have James calling on the show for the first time in 10 years. So thank you, James, for calling, and I hope you call in again. We're live every Friday now at this time. So.
Right, well, it was very good to hear from you. It was very good to talk to you, Bass Guy. I'm very happy I was able to catch the show tonight. Have a good night.
Take care, James. Take care.
I'm going to go ahead and hang up now.
Cheers. Shaka.
Shaka, my Tobian.
Take care, man.
Buy egg. I'm serious about buy egg.
Buy egg. So play a song. Okay. I can play I just played a song. And I'd like to read a joke for you before the next song, and then we're going to end the show because we're running out of time. This is a book written for me by an author called Trayshaw St. Beefton, forward by the great Sock. And he's making fun of us. What do you say to bullies like Dave? Like keeping it polite.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it.
Yeah, Dave Hancock. That's his name. I'm not being rude. Well, it's not my fault. I didn't name him that. So, yeah, Dave, if you don't have anything nice, don't say it. And you know what? Haters are going to hate, so, you know.
Yeah.
We have one question for you, sir, from the wall. That is, how did you hear about the Bass Guy show?
I looked up soup, and I found this.
You looked up soup? Oh, my God, my life is a mess. I'm a bass player, and I play the guitar, and we're a bunch of grown men that are pretending to... we're acting like we haven't grown up, and grown women too. So you looked up soup and you found me.
Yes.
Wow, life is amazing. Isn't the future amazing?
Yes.
What are your predictions for the future? Like we have cars and computers and we have drones and we have like calculators. What do you think's going to happen in the future?
It's going to stay the same for a while.
For a while, okay. That's a really intelligent response. Because you see in movies, they're like, the year was 2004, and robots were running the world, and that was like 10 years ago, and it hasn't happened yet, has it?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you for your call, Scrimmy Biscuits, and do your homework, brush your teeth, and say hello to your friend for me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, take care. Okay, take care. Oh, cool. He put in his little yo job.
I'm studying for a test, yeah.
You got kids?
Yeah, I don't want to. I want you to talk to your friend. I don't want to hold you
Okay,
up.
that's cool. Well, thank you for calling. I think it's brave that you picked up the phone and you called some weirdo in Canada and said hello. So seriously, it's okay. I think that's a sign of bravery, and I think that it's okay. And say hello to your mother and father from Bass Guy, okay?
Thank you.
Do your homework, okay?
All right.
And do the dishes.
Oh, I do already.
And if you want to really impress your parents before they wake up on Saturday morning, vacuum. Yeah, wow. So you really are at command. So what time does the space shuttle launch, sir? Wow. I thought you worked... When I imagined you worked at the fire station, I imagined a pole,
and
Yeah, maybe.
a little coffee machine in the corner and a red telephone.
Well, this is 911.
This is 911.
This is 911. So this is when you call 911.
This is very important for you
This
to
is
know,
what you get.
children, ladies and gentlemen. What is the number to 911 again, Chuck?
912.
Okay, so you just have to remember if there's an emergency, unless you're in London.
Oh, I have a phone call. Should I
Then
take
it's-
my phone call live on your call?
Go for it.
Lieutenant Faustine.
It's been a long month. Those are real life people going by in real life. Excellent call. The wall loves you. Like, it's often people will call in and, like, if it's their first time, they'll, like, just swear or be silly, whatever. But you seem like a level-headed individual. You could be the next president of the United States of America.
Atwood. I don't know what to think about that. Thank you.
So we have a question from Sloppy Unfocused saying, "Hi James, have you ever been on the show before?" She was away on vacation. Sloppy is the owner of this show. She's the boss, but she spends most of her time just going out on holidays on jet planes and stuff. So you're new to the show, aren't you?
Yeah, I was here once very briefly for the last 5 minutes of the show. I actually found the show, and that's where all my friends came from. I was like bored, so I looked up Soup, and like I wonder what Soup is streaming right now. And this was one of 2 streams going on that had anything to do with Soup.
I was thinking about that. I was asking my friends, like, that has to be the biggest achievement and greatest part of my entire existence and life. I'm doing this show and my music, and James was wondering, I wonder what's streaming on live on Soup. So you put live and Soup into the computer, and the bass guy showed up. Here in St. Anne's, I was like, the kids who called in told me, I asked, how did you find the show? And you said you put in the word soup. And I'm like, we have different themes, so the themes have nothing to do with what I do. We're just having fun. And this is like 1 in a billion chances that you just happen to type in, I wonder what's happening in live soup land.
Yeah, that's how a lot of things happen for us. It's like we'll just find something completely by accident like this. It's funny how life works out that way.
Can you explain to me what the shrimp means and who are Max and Scrimmy Bingus and Crabs?
Don't know about crabs. Shrimp is just something we started a long time ago because it's kind of a silly word. It's a fun word to say, so we would start like, we'd say shrimp and we'd rhyme it with fake words that we'd make up. We'd go like, yeah, rimp, shrimp, yeah, rimp. And like we'd have sayings.
That's insane because our funny word is skrank.
Skrank?
Also Shaka.
Shaka.
There's a guy on our show called Dr. Nair Mumstead. We have a 2-year in-joke thing going on with a bunch of friends, so it's very complex. But we say Shaka all the time. So shrimp. It feels good. It feels really good.
Yeah, we say something like we don't do this so much anymore because we got tired of it, but back in the day, we used to like have words for things. We still do, but when something was like really good and we'd liked it, we'd be like, shrimp is dimp, or this is dimp, which kind of came from shrimp.
Can you yell the word Shaka?
Shaka!
There you go. How does that feel?
It feels right. It fits.
It actually, we discovered later that it's a real word from Hawaii, which means hang loose, but we didn't know that, so we kind of invented it on our own, and Dr. Nair Mumstead does, and when you go Shaka, it just empowers you. It gives you like full energy, like a full charge boost.
Me and my friends had something like that where one day, my friend Max Rebo, he just said tuku, and so I'm like, hey, I wonder tuku. I looked up tuku.com, and we had a good laugh for about 10 minutes when it took us to a real website. And it turns out tuku means wholesale in Finnish.
Everything's been invented already, eh?
Yeah.
Tugu. Oh wow, I'm gonna be like famous in high school tomorrow, right? You'll be walking through the hallways with Scrimmy Bingus and Max Rebo, and you'll be like, hey man, I was on the Bass Guy show last night. There was like 4 people watching.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So you think you and your friends are tune into the show and check it out and give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah, seems like a nice place to relax. I've been looking kind of for a while. School gets me down sometimes, gets tired, so I'm like, hey, I want to find something to relax with.
Hard day at school. I remember high school really well. It can be really, really tough there, the wonder years. One of your friends requested Hotel California, and I didn't see it till later, so you tell your friend I'll eventually play that for him, okay?
I will do that.
And thank you for calling, James, and you have yourself a scrimmy, shrimpy Christmas, and a shack of blessings to you and your friends.
You too, my Tobian. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you, Tobian. Take care, eh?
Yeah.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Years now. That's a long time.
8 years ago, Monica met me in person.
Spaghetti.
Are you tired of Sheshman?
Bye, Egg. Hi, I'm Mansterago, and I'm here to introduce to you Egg.com, your one-stop shop for egg, smeg, beg, doors. We even have goulashes. Bye, Egg.
Hi, I'm Schmegel Kegel, and I can vouch for Egg.com because I've bought over $7,000 worth of egg, beg, leg, schmeg, and gulag.
Bye, Egg. Our eggs have the highest rating on the Elementrio scale, and we have the highest content of shoelaces on the market. Our ratio of movie popcorn bags to battery acid is out of this world. These are the best eggs you'll ever see in your life. Bye, Egg.
But I only have $3.
Not a problem. You know what $3 gets you on egg.com? That's with 40 egg. How much? What's the value of 40 egg? It's 40 egg. We're selling at cost. Oh!
Bye, Egg.
Oh!
Hold on, hold on, hold on.